You know, just wait for the market to fall with the Russia's invasion. Let it bottom it out, and then we can ask Nagaraj. He will tell us when is the right time to invest, right, Nagaraj?
Yeah, sure. Thinking last Wednesday it already happened, I guess. Yeah.
Ajay, how are you, sir?
Hey everyone, I'm good. How about you guys?
Good, good, good.
Good.
Ajay, I'm going to put everyone in the breakout room,
Okay.
okay, after the test speaker, and
Yeah.
I will ask each speaker to come out when the evaluator is done, and when you come out, there will be a moment of silence going on.
There is an echo going on at the moment.
Yes, I need a Zoom master.
Okay, a question for you, Abhijit. There's no timing for the evaluation, the test speaker. Nothing.
You can time it. There is, yeah.
And how did we figure out this sequence of speakers?
Random order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw I was EV3 earlier, now become EV6. That's why I was
Oh,
wondering.
yeah.
We had some more people join at the last moment, so we changed the order.
Okay, no problem.
Abhi,
Is
one
there
more.
somebody-
Sorry.
Yes. Huh?
Abhi, one more question. Is it a 5 to 7 minute speech for the
Yes. Yes.
for the test speech? Okay.
Yep.
And is there going to be an sergeant at arms inside the breakout room or?
No, no, it will be honor system.
Okay.
All right, everyone looks
Okay,
here.
ready?
Yes.
I think we are ready to get this party started. Good morning and good evening, everyone. My name is Abhijit. We are going to start the evaluation contest first. Evaluation contests are the cornerstones for Toastmasters. A test speaker will give a 5 to 7 minute speech. After that, I'll move in all the contestants in the breakout room. After 5 minutes, I'll ask the first contestant to come out. I will check their mic, and once they are ready, I'll call their name twice, and then they can start their evaluation. A qualifying evaluation is more than 1 minute 30 seconds and less than 3 minutes 30 seconds. At 2 minutes, the timer will show a green signal. Frederica, you want to show a green signal?
Yes, I can.
Yep. At 2:30, Frederica will show a yellow. And at 3, Frederica will show a red. The red will go on until the speaker is ready.
Somebody.
Namita, I'm going to make you a co-host. You will be in charge of muting people, okay? Our contestant order is contestant number 1 is going to be Tosin. Contestant number 2 is going to be Shardul. Contestant number 3 is going to be Nagaraj. Contestant number 4, Abdul. Contestant number 5, Jamal.
It's coming from Tosin.
Abhijit, Tosin's audio is on and I can't seem to mute him.
Yes,
he looks like he's stuck. He's frozen.
Yes, at least it's a happy face that's frozen.
Yes.
But
I'm sorry, Shadow. If you can kick that particular account out, that's fine.
Okay, I will remove him. I'll remove him. Don't report, okay? Perfect. I removed him. Contestant number 7 is going to be Pushpak. Does everyone have the order, or do you want me to repeat it? Let's get started. I'm going to call upon our test speaker to start the speech. Sneha Gaud. Try another day. Try another time, Sneha Gaud. Sneha.
Abhijit, I'm sorry, Sneha, sorry to interrupt you. Could you just give me one more minute?
Sure.
I seem to be missing. Just 1 minute. Abhijit, can you add me and yourself in the breakout room? Just for 1 minute.
काय जज नाही आला का?
हाँ, जय नहीं है.
कोण?
जय
जय.
जय.
ओके
एक
नमिताला
दोन-
करून टाकू ना.
हाँ?
नमिता
तो येत नाही, तो ह्याच्यावर आहे, पण त्याला जॉईन नाही केलंय त्यांनी. जस्ट 1च मिनिट दे फक्त.
ओके ओके
जय जय, तुझ्याकडे तुला जो मेल पाठवलाय ना, त्यातली जी पहिली लिंक आहे ती ह्याच्यासाठी आहे, इव्हेंट जॉईन करण्यासाठी. अहं. तुझ्या एनव्हीडियाच्या अकाउंटवरती पाठवली आहे. दुसऱ्या अकाउंटवर पाठवू का मी लगेच?
सध्या
हो, गुगल नाही, गुगलची नाही, तिकडे युईटी लिंक्सची जी यादी आहे त्याच्यात युईटी झूम रजिस्ट्रेशन लिंक म्हणून आहे. टू एंटर द मीटिंग रूम ऑन झूम एक लिंक दिलेली आहे. राईट. हो, मी पाठवतो, 1 मिनिटात पाठवतो तुला परत.
हा कुठे रघु
रघु सुद्धा येतोय.
रघुला म्हणा वेट यू नाही कॅनॉट बी लेट.
कॉपी लिंक इन्व्हिटेशन. जय, मी तुला व्हॉट्सअप करतोय बघ.
जय लवकर ये जय.
जय.
we have a people have to go.
हो 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 हो.
हे पण आपण स्टार्ट करू शकतो. त्याला येऊ दे, 7 मिनिटं आहे त्याच्याकडे. मी बघतो त्याच्याकडे. ओके
ओके फाईन.
ओके चालेल चालेल आपण स्टार्ट करू.
तू जय, जर तुला काही इश्यू होत असेल तर अभिजितला कॉन्टॅक्ट कर.
येस मेसेज कर म्हणा स्लॅक वरती किंवा टीम्स वर. I'll introduce the speaker again. Sneha Gaud. Give another try. Give another try. Sneha Gaud.
I was 4 and only knew something strange is happening to my mom. To make things worse, one day when I woke up at my grandma's house, I didn't find her beside me. I screamed for Mama. It was the day when my sister was born. Suddenly, everything was about the baby. Don't wake the baby. Don't tease the baby. Don't paint the baby. One morning, the baby was being given a bath. I hated it when Mom got late for preparing my milk. Irritated, I went out to play with my cousins. When I returned, the anteroom was wafting with a familiar fragrance. Johnson's baby powder. My great-grandfather sat in his armchair in the anteroom where the sunlight was shining in abundance. As I looked at him in a daze of enchantment, he smiled and gestured me to go inside and give the baby another try. I slowly walked into her room. The baby looked different that day. She seemed to be in a playful mood. Mom asked me to sit on the mat and the baby was laid on my lap. She lay there squeaking and cooing until she finally slept. From that day on, my sister changed my world. I would go again and again to see what the baby was doing, to hold her, to rock her, until she slept like a fairy. Years passed by. It was the annual fair in school. My parents came to drop me to the campus, and along came my little sister. But I was a little upset when they were leaving. Do you want to take her with you? Mom asked me before leaving. But I dropped her from the swing last week. Hey, big sister, you deserve another try, but be a good elder sister. Don't hang around in the sun too long. Yes, I get to boss around my baby sister. Didi, I'm hungry, my sister said, tugging on my frock. Hungry? Well, yes, of course. I rushed to buy the tickets for the food booths. My best friend rushed to buy her an ice cream. But the queue was long, and my sister started to throw a tantrum. Bad idea. I think I must call Mom. Maybe we should send her back. Hey, let's take another try, my best friend said. Let's try the sweets corner. That day, my sister won a teddy from the magic show guy. And her smile won my heart. Whoever said, life doesn't give you another chance? Some more years passed by. My sister shifted to America. Her days became my nights. And somewhere in our busy lives, the gap between me and my best friend for 19 years grew wide. One day she called me and said she wanted our parents to come and live with her in America because they have better facilities out there. I was devastated. I married in the same city where my parents live, so I could be with them. My children will miss their grandparents. They meet twice a month. I can't let them go away like that. Have you ever felt insecure in your relationships? Well, I did for many days. One morning, I went to drop my son to school. Children are getting down from the bus. Big brothers holding the hands of younger ones. Sisters in the same ponytail, smiling. A big poster of alphabets hung at the back of the bus. Capital A, small a. Big sister, small sister. I deserve another try, I said, looking down at the ocean of innocent faces. That night, I called my sister and apologized. And I told her, you have worked hard to be where you are today. Our parents must share and enjoy your success. Dear friends, are you someone who has lost touch with an old friend? A daughter grown into a beautiful woman? Or a brother who is now a big man? And your heart aches for doing so? reach out, call them and tell them you're there. Because as a loved one, you deserve another try. Contest chair.
Thank you so much. I've now opened the breakout rooms. All the contestants, please join the breakout rooms. Shardul, you'll be contestant number 1.
Can you make me the co-host?
Yes. Thank you, Sneha, so much for your test speech. What inspired you for this speech, Sneha?
So Abhijit, I was already going through this exact phase that I've talked about in my speech. I was having some friction in my relationship with my sister. We were not speaking, and because she very desperately wanted our parents to come and live with her. And I was against the idea. So that's what inspired the speech.
Thank you so much, Sneha. We could feel your energy in the speech. How long have you been a Toastmaster for, and what clubs do you belong to?
It has been 3 years now. I joined in March 2019, and I belong to 2 Toastmaster clubs. One is Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India-based club Impact Toastmasters, and another is San Jose Toastmasters Club in San Jose.
I've seen you compete many times. Why should we compete in the contest? What is your motivation for competing in the contests?
For me, I belong to the profession of teaching, and I have to many times face a larger audience. And I have realized this fact makes me quite anxious. So to overcome my anxiety, I deliberately try to participate in more and more contests so that till the point I feel absolutely comfortable on stage. And I think I'm reaching that point eventually.
How is Toastmasters helping you in bettering your communication?
For one thing, I feel that now I can structure my stories better after joining Toastmasters. I sort of have eased out in sequencing the events of my story. So I think storytelling is the best way to connect with the audience and sharing the anecdotes from my personal life. But it has also taught me to logically link and connect, make my speeches more coherent. I think this is one way in which Toastmaster has greatly helped me.
I totally agree with you. Storytelling is the way to connect with the audience. What advice you will have for someone who has been a Toastmaster for just 6 to 9 months? Sneha, what advice you will have for someone who has been in Toastmasters for 6 to 9 months?
Well, I would just say that stay tuned, prepare for your speeches, participate in contests, be a contest chair or Toastmaster in the contests, as my mentors advise me. And yes, I think mentorship is something which is very, very efficient in building the personality and overall communication development of an individual. So yes, we just need to be consistent with our practice.
Thank you, Sneha. Frederica, is that 3 minutes or 5 minutes?
That's 5.
5?
No, that is 3. 3, 4, and 5. Right.
3, 4, 5. Thank you, Frederica. Sneha, another question I have is, has Toastmasters been helping you in your impromptu speaking? Like especially since at work you are a lecturer, right? So how is Toastmasters helping you with that?
Well, that was the exact reason I think that I knew that this is the area I needed improvement in. Mm-hmm. So we have in the regular format, we have the table topic segment in every speech. I am always the first one to raise my hand. In my home club, we have this option that people can, opt for answering the question. So I'm always the first one to raise my hand because I know that I don't know how to answer that question, but I still do it deliberately. So I think this is one way it is helping me.
Thank you, Sneha. Another question I have, Sneha, is how much practice you have put it in the speech. I know the speech has been, you have rewritten it many times. So how many times you have practiced it and how have you honed this speech?
So I practice 3 to 4 times minimum in a day, and maximum is if it is nearing the contest time, then I rehearse it even more. So like 8 to 9 times. I try my best, but I need to learn my time management skill as well. But yes, this is the minimum I try to practice.
And this speech you have practiced it at least 30, 40 times, maybe more. Yes. How does the speech changes when you're giving it first time and now after giving it 40 times? How does it come alive?
I think it sounds more natural, and it sounds like you are talking to a friend. So that comfort level comes, with practice. I think that is the idea.
Thank you so much, Sneha. We really appreciate you because it not only inspires us, it also inspires our audience. Thank you. Let me call upon the first evaluator. Contestant number 2, Shardul, are you ready?
Yes. Am I visible properly?
Yes, yes. Contestant number 2, Shardul Rautmare. Shardul Rautmare.
Do you want a second chance? A gripping narrative that had excellent usage or an introduction with a nice body and a message that was very captivating. The idea of role playing to actually effectively utilize your stage was pretty nice. The role play between your mom or your friend, you actually moved from side to side that created a nice conversational feel for us. And the eye contact that you maintained throughout your speech really transfixed us and held us together throughout your narrative. The hand gestures, when you smelled the Johnson's baby powder or when your grandpa was in a room, that really painted the picture. That was really inviting us throughout your narrative. But at one point, your hands were being chopped off or weren't really clear because the angle wasn't to a certain tilt. If you would have just tilted it a bit more, then we could have viewed your hand completely, and that would have had more impact for us. The other point was when you displayed your emotions. When your friend said, "Yeah, let's give another chance." Throughout that conversation, you had a smile. I'm pretty sure when a baby sister is throwing a tantrum, no elder sibling had a smile on their face for a fact. So maybe that could have even helped us more. It would have introduced your emotional variety a lot more and connected. And lastly, when you sorry, when you dropped her from the sling, that was a moment where you could have used, or your mother could have said, "Do you want another chance?" Because throughout your speech, you have managed to fit that line in. When your friend said it, when in the end you say about reaching out to your loved ones, that was a right moment for you because alliteration of the main subject line or the title of your speech is a powerful message. So for us to really be throughout with you throughout your journey. Your hand gestures were nice. Your eye contact held us together. Your role play effectively used the stage and created a charming environment. But just ensuring that the camera angle is apt will help you. Ensuring that you display the emotional variety that's needed will improve your speech even more. And allowing yourself to use the speech title 3 times has a magical impact. So what do you think? Do you want to give your speech another chance? Do you want do you want a second chance?
Thank you so much. Judges, please mark your ballots. Timer, please give me a minute. Thank you, Frederica. Contestant number 1, Tosin is here. Tosin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Yes. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Contestant number 1, Tosin. Tosin.
Toastmaster Sneha, I want to say thank you, not just for delivering your speech today, but also for taking me down memory lane. You know, as you were telling your story, I could relate with just about everything you said, from my mom being absent and wondering where she was, and then she's returning to the house with a stranger who comes to take over my domain. So I really loved that. I could relate very much with that. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. I noticed that you've leaned very strongly into storytelling and you were quite vulnerable with us today. I actually loved that. I love the fact that you told a personal story, which I think, you know, helps you to tell a story that everyone can relate to. It's your story. And the thing about personal stories is you don't have to try and remember this or remember that because it's your story. You just tell it and it comes out and flows so naturally. Everyone can just relate with it. Everyone just ends up enjoying it. And still speaking about storytelling, you weren't just vulnerable. You actually perfected the art of using your body to speak to us. When you spoke about the baby, when you spoke about just different elements and you would use your hands, you would change your facial expressions. Personally, I struggle with facial expressions. So when I see someone who has mastered the art of contorting their faces to, you know, convey different messages, I really respect and appreciate that. So that was another area I thought you excelled at. Now, still speaking about storytelling, I observed that for most of the speech, you used about the same tone to talk to us. You spoke for about the same pace throughout the entire speech. And personally, I think it usually helps if you vary your tone, your pitch, your volume, you know, for emphasis or to just drive home different points at different points during the speech. I thought that was something you could improve upon. And I'm sure if you do that in a following speech, I would see, you know, a huge difference. Now, I also observed that, sorry, excuse me. I also observed that while you were telling these stories, the audience could relate to it because, like I said earlier, it's a relatable story. And I thought there was an opportunity there that might have been missed today, but does not have to be missed in the future. How about engaging the audience, asking questions, and maybe even getting responses? Just like you had your experiences, I'm sure we all have our experiences that might chip in. Now, I'm not asking you to do this because I know you're constrained for time, but maybe a question or two during the course of the speech would have ensured that your audience was actually following you and they were with you all through the duration of the speech. But I've hammered severally, I think the most fantastic part about your speech was how relatable it was. And not just the fact that it was relatable, but that you used such a simple story, such a personal story to drive home a point about the importance of second chances and actually seizing them. Overall, I thought your speech was wonderful. I loved your use of body language and facial expressions. I loved the fact that it was a personal story. And I believe that if you do improve on your use of vocal variety and even challenge yourself, to engage your audience in future, you would have a smashing speech. Thank you very much, Mr. Snell.
Thank you so much, Tosin. Judges, please mark your ballots. Timer, please give me a minute. Thank you, timer. Contestant number 3, Nagraj Bata. Nagraj, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Contestant number 3, Nagraj Bata. Nagraj Bata.
Thank you, Abhijit. And thank you, Sneha, for such an engaging speech. Try another day. The moment you started talking, I was so engaged in your topic because that was so relatable in my situation as well. You picked such a such a nice topic so that people can relate. I was focusing on content delivery and style because it was relatable. I was able to engage myself and follow the story all along. And your gesture, body language, and style is out of the world. I noticed how you did to the side of the screen and you used the whole stage, and the body language and slowing down and speeding up was very effective. And as I said, I was able to visualize myself and how your sister was born and how you were trying to accommodate her, and various stories you added in your speech. That was very good. Those examples were very good. How you initially didn't like her and then later liked her. The love-hate relationship in between siblings is always there, and those stories were very good for me. How you took her love for granted, and when she went far and then you realize that her love is missing, that is one of the good examples for me. And how I turned out to be insecure, and capital A or small a, all those where I was able to internalize and also take it away from the speech. Few recommendations I would say. It was very hard to find the recommendation, but I think it might enhance your speech, because I was thinking from myself, myself and my sister and my brother. So I think some of the things I would like to recommend is you can add joy, how you had scenarios where you had extreme joy or joy, and also sorrow or sadness. Let's say, for example, how you played soccer with your sister, that was joy, example of a joy. Let's say, for example, how you found your parents struggling to whatever reason, maybe studying, your dad might be studying or struggling with whatever painful situation they had, or somebody passing away in your family. How both joy and sorrow situation, you both of you sisters bonded together. That is one of the example you could give. Second would be you spoke about your childhood duration and also elementary school duration, maybe some teenage. Let's say, for example, you had extreme tough word problems. Word problems are extremely tough, right? How you helped your sister with those algebra, or she helping you with some of even though your younger sister might not help you, you think, but you can maybe she can help in some domain, right? That kind of bondage example, how do you bonded effectively while you are growing up, right? The journey from elementary school, high school, and to until you got married and separated to various different countries. That will be good. All in all, I really like the topic. I was so relatable, and the gesture style, something I want to learn from you. I'm looking forward to the other speeches from you in various Toastmasters. Thank you, Sneha.
Thank you so much. Judges, please mark your ballots. Timer, please give me a minute. Thank you so much, Frederica. Contestant number 4, Abdul, can you hear me?
Yes, I will to hear. Can
Are
you
you
able to
ready?
hear?
Yes, I can hear you. Are you ready?
Yeah, yeah, I'm ready.
Contestant number 4,
So
Abdul Wahid. Abdul Wahid.
thank you, my speaker Sneha. So the opening of the speech was very good, and you said the word as strange during the speech. That helps us to bring and pick up the audience, and it was really fantastic. And two things I really like about your speech was, first one, vocal variety, and second one was clarity. So I like the rate during the speech. Like you said, don't take the baby, don't tease the baby. The speed was very optimum, and volume was also very good and understanding. And second thing, what I really loved in your speech was clarity. The clarity of the words were simple, understandable, and it was really engaging us. Like you said, you desired the another try. And two things I suggest you for your speech. One is gesture and second one is pauses. The way you uses the body was phenomenal, but specific to the gesture for the content. Like you said, I rushed to buy the ticket. Then you said it was a queue, the same gesture. And the second thing, what I recommend you for improving, and I saw that usage of too many pauses, like you said, and baby pause, was let pause, and again until pause in the same sentence. It was understanding and giving feel, but managed to use the less pauses. So overall, the speech was very good. I encourage you. I appreciated you. And over to you, Abhijit.
Thank you so much, Abdul. Judges, please mark your ballots. Timer, please give me a minute. Thank you, timer. Contestant number 5, Jamal George. Jamal, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Are you ready?
Yes,
You can see the timer too, right?
yes.
Contestant number 5, Jamal George. Jamal George.
Contest share, friends, and especially you, Sneha. Your speech reminds me of the time my son was 3 years old and his sister was born. His world changed because his mom was fully occupied with the newborn. And the way he grabbed my attention was through negative behavior. Thank you so much for your speech because you shared with me the transition that a sibling goes through. And that was awesome to hear that. There is so many things, so many good things about your speech, and also some ways you can improve your speech. And I'm going to share a few of them, and I'll top it off with what I liked best. I just loved the gestures that you used in your speech, the emotion that came with it, especially when you said, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. It was like, I could feel I was there at that position when I kept saying to my son, don't. So thank you so much for sharing that. I could resonate with it. I really liked the flow, the content of the speech, from the birth to staying together and then moving apart. And she even took your parents. So that was like, I couldn't take it. I could feel what was going on through you. So thank you for sharing that. I love the humor that you brought in. Her days are now my nights. It's like even more difficult. So I really liked the humor that you brought in. Areas that you can improve on is the dialogue. I think you can make that dialogue crisp between your mother, your sister, and you. So then in that way, I know who is talking what. And when your mother is talking to you this way, then, and if you are a little one, you can angle it the right way. So basically trying to figure out so that, we know who is talking when. Then when it comes to the hand movement, I noticed a couple of places where it was symmetric. So maybe you can break the symmetry by just using one hand. And then another area would be pauses. Pause where you want us to stay with you. So that'll be really helpful if you could pause there. The best thing about your speech was the message. Every loved one deserves a second chance. To summarize, make the dialogue crisper, pauses, and then break the symmetry. What I liked best about your speech was the humor, the contents, and the emotions and gestures. Thank you so much. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Judges, please mark your ballots. Timer, please give me a minute. Thank you, timer. Contestant number 6, Ajay Hiraskar. Ajay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Are you ready?
I am absolutely.
Contestant number 6, Ajay Hiraskar. Ajay Hiraskar.
Thank you, Sneha. As a younger sibling among two brothers, you evoked amazing memories with your speech today. And I'm going to use the acronym SPEECH to give you feedback about your speech. The S of the speech, structure. I love the way that you opened up by hooking in the audience attention, took us through your life journey right from the birth of your younger sister all the way to a current time frame when she had moved to the US and she had invited your parents there. And in between, so many lovely incidences that helped to connect. You ensured that you left the audience with a closing message, entreating them to reach out to somebody they love. The P of speech was a positive demeanor. I love the way that you were dressed today. I loved your smile. I loved your posture and the way that you carried yourself throughout the speech. The E was the energetic body language. Wow, what a show! The way you described your little sister walking with you, the way you cradled your younger sister when she was smaller, and all of those beautiful instances of body language that you used, interweaving it into the content of the speech. That was amazing. The E again was engaging the audience with questions along the way. Have you done this? So these were the 4 things that I loved about your speech. If I have to give you another try, then obviously 2 things I can give you to feedback. The C of speech was cut to the chase, Neha. I saw that you came to addressing the topic really speaking. Give another try. By the time you're 3 minutes and about 20 seconds into your speech, in my opinion, you dragged it a bit too late. Cut to the chase, come to it sooner. And H, heighten the tension. You spoke about the issue that you had with your sister right at the end. Could you have heightened it, built it up? It did not really add to the drama of what the speech really was. So, in my opinion, Sneha, you brought back lovely memories for me. And if I have to give you a summary of your feedback, it's S, structure, which was wonderful. The P was in terms of a positive demeanor that you had. The E was the energetic body language. The second E was engaging with the audience. The C was cut to the chase, and H heightened the tension. I would love to have gone back and called my elder brother today. Unfortunately, he passed away 2 years back. But I promise you that in my sleep today, I'm going to reach out to him and pass on a message from my heart. And I will definitely give it another try. Thank you, Sneha.
Thank you so much. Judges, please mark your ballots. Timer, please give me a minute. Thank you, timer. Contestant number 7, Pushpak Agasti. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Contestant number 7, Pushpak Agasti. Pushpak Agasti.
Neha, what a beautiful story. So
I don't have many negatives about this. It was a perfect story. I could relate to it. When you started with the introduction, it captivated the audience. I could see people glued to their screen. I saw some chuckles, some laughs. I saw some emotional faces throughout the story. And it was clear from your introduction that your baby sister was the main character in your story. And you used it really well. So what worked in the story, right? It was very relatable. Every time you're telling a story, I could just think of something that happened in my life because I have a baby sister as well. And the use of prop, when you pulled out the teddy bear, it was perfect. It complemented your story. And also the use of your screen space. When you're telling a story, you just move close and you move back. That was perfect. I could see that gestures, you kept moving around, you used the rectangle really, really well. Then you move to the body of the story. When you talked about how you took care of your sister with your friends, you gave another try. I felt a bit lengthy in that section. Probably could have trimmed it down a little bit, or probably another story. But overall, it was not that bad. Then again, towards the conclusion, when you explained the big A, small a, I could not visualize that, if I can put it correctly. Otherwise, it was perfect. Then again, while explaining the story, and when you move towards the conclusion, you started with the story of your sister moving to America. That was an emotional one. I could feel the pain you must have gone through during that time. And overall in the story, with that emotional tone, and when you achieve something, that sense of achievement, I could see that coming out of your face. So that worked really, really well. Then towards the conclusion, when you move to the story of American moving to America, I knew that climax is coming, and that was the best part of the story. I knew where you are going. And then you had that call to action. In the call to action, like calling your sister, that was a great message. I couldn't relate completely because sisters are friends and you really never lose touch with them. So, but it worked perfectly. Like I get message there. Overall, it was perfect. It was an A+ speech. Like there was nothing wrong. I'm just nitpicking with my feedbacks, but overall it was relatable, emotional, and great use of the screen space. Over to you, Abhijit.
Thank you so much. Timer, please give me 2 minutes. Judges, please mark your ballots.
Two minutes up. You are muted, Abhijit.
He's in a call, I think.
Yeah, I
Urgent.
was talking to Shardul.
Okay, all right.
I think I have moved the judges to the breakout room. I would encourage all the contestants to turn on their cameras. Raghu and Shardul, I have made you co-host. Okay. If needed, you can move the people around. I'll start with Pushpak. Pushpak, how was your experience? Pushpak?
Evaluating is always tough, right? Like, so I have learned one thing, that before saying anything negative, you have to say 3 good things about any person. I was keeping that in mind. Not that there were any negatives about the speech, but I had to be cognizant of that fact that I don't offend or be personal with anyone. Like, just objectively evaluate the speech. And it was good. I could have gone slow. I think I rushed through when I saw the yellow light, but yeah, overall it was a good experience.
Thank you so much for participating. You know, evaluations are tough, and within 2 months, you have done an evaluation in a contest. I'm proud of you. Really, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Nagaraj, how was the experience for you being in the first evaluation contest for you also?
Oh, yeah. Even though I didn't eat the breakfast, I was thinking about the sandwich. Sandwich, the good and improvement and the good. Summarize it, right? So I went to that method. It was a very relatable topic, right? I have 2 siblings. So I was able to relate to the various stories, and recommendations came naturally. So that was good.
Thank you, Nagaraj. Thank you for participating in the contest. Abdul, how was it for you, Abdul?
I feel it was very easy. But coming across, yeah, but it is not so much tough. Very easy.
Were you nervous or what happened?
No, nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
I didn't.
Thank you so much, Abdul. Thank you for participating in the contest. Tosin, how was it for you, Tosin?
Well, I was a bit nervous, I have to admit, and I've come to observe that usually, like the speakers, the test speakers at contests are usually very good, which sometimes I think it's not fair because it just makes the evaluations a little bit more difficult. But then again, I think that's the point of contests, to just push yourselves beyond the comfort zone. And I think that's where I found myself today, having to partake in this contest with the wonderful evaluators I have had to. Yeah, that's basically it. Thank you, Abhijit.
Thank you so much, Tosin. Thank you. Jamal, how was it for you?
It was really good. I just enjoyed evaluating Sneha and listening to her speech and how loved ones need another chance. We all make mistakes, and it was so beautiful to hear that. And yeah, thank you. Right now, I'm in a situation where I don't have good lightings, and I'm like wondering, what am I going to do for my speech that's coming up? So I'm going to have fun.
Thank you, Jamal. Ajay, how was the experience for you?
Well, contests are always interesting
Okay.
because I find I push myself more when I'm in a contest. I would get into a meeting, give a speech off the cuff also, but a contest means you have to put in efforts, which is why I love contests. And yeah, you learn so much as it is in the process.
Yes. How long did it take for you to come up with that speech acronym? Was it immediate or how did it happen?
Well, I use it very often, that approach, because it actually goes parallel in my mind when I hear a speaker.
Okay.
Another, I was trying to look at the acronym, but it was too long.
Yeah.
That's why I use speech as an acronym. Another would have been too long to have used.
Okay. I'm going to steal that. What was another acronym you were trying to use?
That's why I said another.
Another. Oh, another.
ANOTHER.
Okay, another.
So
Okay.
another was the acronym because that was a part of the title,
Yes.
but it was too long, right? So
Okay.
I wanted to use a shorter one. That's why I use speech.
Thank you, Ajay. I'm going to steal that, I promise. Namita, how was it for you to listen to all these evaluations?
Well, to tell frankly, one of the evaluation was funnier than the speech. I was like, oh, wow, I could listen to this evaluation within the speech because already I think I listened to this speech twice. Yeah. That was an interesting way of evaluating.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Let me call upon Raghu to take over the next contest. There are results where it will be announced after the international speech contest. Raghu is the Toastmaster for international speech contest.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the International Speech Contest at Universal Entrepreneur Toastmasters. All contestants are eligible for the contest. Eligibility criteria is that you need to complete your level 2, at least from pathways, or complete your CC6 from your CC manuals. Then you should be a member in a good standing from a club in good standing. Both the contestants are eligible for that criteria. The contest is simple, where I will be inviting each speaker by their title, name, and title. You will have 30 minutes to check your audio, video, and then start speaking. 5 to 7 minutes is the time to speak. You need to ensure that your internet availability and audio, video is clear. We have 2 contestants today. Judges, please note, first contestant is Ajay Hiraskar, AJAYHIRASKAR, Ajay Hiraskar. Second contestant is Jaymal George, JAYMOLGEORGE, Jaymal George. It's time to start the contest right now. Are both the contestants ready? Jamal, as the second contestant, you have a choice to go to breakout room if you want. Otherwise, we are good to start.
Raghu, before you continue with the meeting, can you please wait for the judges to join the meeting?
Sure. Jamal, do you want to use a breakout room?
All right.
No? Yes.
The judges are here.
No, I don't.
Fine. Our first contestant is Ajay Hiraskar. I request Zoom Master Abhijit to spotlight Ajay. Before that, Ajay, are you able to pin the timer? I'm removing the spotlight so that you will have ability to pin the timer.
Yeah, I've joined in through another device, but I hope that's fine, right? It's the basic contest is over.
Yeah, it's allowed in ISC, not a problem.
Yeah.
Are you able to see the timer cards? Ajay?
Yes, I can see the timer cards. Thank you.
Wonderful. Ajay Hiraskar. And the winner is Ajay Hiraskar.
Thank you, contest chair. You just made my day. 246,642. That's the number of times that Toastmasters have waited with a bated breath to hear their name in the last 12 months. After those 4 words by the contest chair. And the winner is. Post this announcement, the winners are cheering and celebrating, and the rest experiencing disappointment and despair. They put on a mask, a smile for the outside world, but deep inside, there is a feeling of failure. Contest chair and fellow Toastmasters have experienced this failure. We go back to 1987, where I performed well in my first job and was soon supervising other employees. But I was unhappy about my title. Soon after, I quit my job and joined a new company with the title Area Sales Manager. We had ambitious targets, and I was on the top of the list of the non-performers. Adding insult to injury, I was fired and was now jobless, clueless, and penniless. Within the first 5 years of my career, I had been labeled failure. My self-esteem was in a downward spiral. I found it impossible to hide it from others. I performed badly at interviews and I could not even get another job. I was drowning and reached out to my mentor from college for help. Professor Robert's simple words were like a lifeboat. Ajay, what you're fighting is not failure. It's actually only the way that you're looking at yourself, the way that you're having a self-judgment. If your 5-year-old nephew failed like this, would you also feel negative about him? Failure has to be embraced and then you can move ahead. Wow! I felt embraced by my mentor. I shred those negative feelings and attended subsequent interviews without this baggage. It was an uphill task and I started a new job within a couple of months. That's how I got my first custom-made key to success. Embrace failure. I started searching for other such keys to success and met a superhero, a handsome young man who launched and shut down a series of businesses, Superman style, lightning fast. Finally hit the bullseye with his travel agency business. If just one professional failures had me go bonkers, how did this man withstand the torment of repeated failures? Maybe if he had persisted, at least in one of the businesses, he would have worked out. So I went and asked this question to that superhero, my dad. He said, "Well, son, persistence is a virtue, but I learn on my feet. For me, the practical way is to try something, and if it doesn't work, I move on. If you fail willingly, that's not failure, that's just testing and trying." Wow! The second key to success was right here in my own house. Later I changed jobs and industries, and this approach helped me to move on when things did not work out. And I acquired the second key to success: fail fast. Now I was armed with two keys which could open many doors of success. Who would have thought that embracing failure and failing fast are actually two sure short ways of winning? But wait, there is more. Well, COVID-19 has led to a discontinuation of the physical Toastmaster meetings. All of us had to adopt the strange new medium of online meetings. Many of us would have struggled a bit, but not me. Nah! I was a natural disaster. Speaking into a small, unblinking camera was unnerving. Without audience reaction, how could I judge the impact of my speech? I decided to drop out of the online contests. But my son, Abhishek, came to my rescue. He said, "Dad, you told me that Toastmasters is a place where you can fail safely. Don't you think? If you fail during the meetings, you will learn to be able to utilize the online meetings effectively in your professional life. Wow! Isn't this exactly what we've been doing in Toastmasters all along? We have used this key many times earlier, but we never realized it. I then started giving online speeches, educational sessions at other club to acclimatize myself. This contest speech is a testimony of the power of the third key to success. Learn from failure. Friends, I've had a successful career as a corporate leader, changing industries and domains. After leaving the corporate world, I now mentor others to build successful businesses. And all of this has been possible because I used these three magical keys knowingly as well as unknowingly. Embrace failure, fail fast, and learn from failure. Friends, most of us attach a stigma to failure. All of us have access to these keys, but we avoid using them. Shift this mindset and use these keys as often as you can. Usage of the three magical keys becomes a stepping stone to success. Very soon, you will be standing on a similar stage, and the contest chair will announce, and the winner is. Go to the contest chair.
Thank you very much, Ajay Hiratko. Now we will keep a 1 minute silence for the judges to mark their ballot. Timer, please inform when the ballot minute is over.
One minute is up.
Thank you very much, Frederica. It's time for our second speaker, Jamal George. Can you confirm that you're able to?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Jamal George, cranky, hungry, and stranded. Cranky, hungry, and stranded. Toastmaster Jamal.
What do you do when faced with an unexpected situation? Do you panic? I'm at the Chicago airport the night before Christmas Eve. I am anxious to get to my husband and daughter for Christmas. I am exhausted. The snow is 10 feet high. I and 57 miserable, cranky travelers are trapped in this airport. We are not going anywhere tonight. Contest chair and friends, it's 8 o'clock at night. I look around for food and the food court is closing. I'm about to run, but my carry-on bag handle raised its arm up in the air and leaned towards me saying, "Don't abandon me." I would never abandon my favorite Gucci bag. Come with me. And I hop from one counter to another only to hear, "Sorry, we're closed. We're closed." Until I see McDonald's. I know you want it. hot, juicy, tasty Big Mac for only $3.99. I'm about to grab it, but then I pull my hand back to get my wallet. My wallet. My wallet! I look everywhere and I can't find it. All my credit cards are gone and I haven't even maxed them out. Maybe the airport security officer will help me. Officer, I lost my wallet. Ma'am, when was the last time you saw your wallet? Officer, an hour ago. Ma'am, did you lose your wallet? Officer, I just told you I lost my wallet. Why am I talking to you? Ma'am, please calm down. Please calm down. Show me your ID. What is an ID? An ID is a paper card with your name and photos, such as your driver's license or passport. Officer, my ID is in the wallet and my wallet is lost. I'm standing in front of him. Why does he need an ID when I'm standing right in front of him? Sorry, ma'am. We need your ID to help you. Officer, please. What a waste of time. My survival instincts kick in and I see a half-eaten egg roll on an empty table and I gobble it. No, I inhale it. I start looking through the trash for my wallet. Even though I live in Silicon Valley, have a home, a nice job, a great family, here I am digging through the trash. This is disgusting. I will never get to go home to my family for Christmas. I noticed a tug on my pant and I turn and I see a little young girl, dark-haired, looking at me. She looks like my daughter and she's worried. Is everything okay? No, I lost my wallet. Her big brown eyes sparkle. Don't panic, take it slow. Off she goes. I notice people at the airport, the men checking out the hair in the glass reflection, and women checking out the men who are checking them out. And I still wonder, did any of these people take my wallet? As the hours go by, it's getting quieter and colder. It's getting so cold that I can't fall asleep. And I still remind myself, don't panic, take it slow. I go to the restroom and there I find it. The hand dryer. Oh, it's love at first sight. The hand dryer is so much fun to play with, hitting the button for the hot gush of air, and I'm enjoying the newfound companion. I tip the button with chewing gum and voila, there is continuous flow of hot air. I fall asleep and wake up in the morning with chapped lips and with static electricity on my hair. And my heart is heavy because I won't get to see my daughter for Christmas. I see my little friend. She's laughing and staring at me. Did you take it slow? Yes. Did you find your wallet? No, I can't find it anywhere. Did you check your suitcase? Suitcase? Deep within my suitcase, under my clothes, is my wallet. My wallet is hiding exactly where I placed it hours earlier. Christmas Eve, here I come, and I get to see my daughter. I look around, my little girl, my little friend is nowhere. She disappeared. I am so grateful that she led me through the panic and helped me find my way home. Walking with my wallet and my carry-on bag, I see people smiling. They too are going home for Christmas. The airline gives us free breakfast voucher. We board the plane and arrive safely back home in San Francisco. This trip reminds me that life is filled with experiences, and it's so easy to panic when faced with unexpected situations. Instead, try my little friend's advice. Don't panic. Take it slow. Contest chair.
Thank you very much, Rashmasha Jaimal. Now let's maintain 3 minutes silence for judges to mark their ballot and give it to the ballot counter. Radhika, let me know when the 3 minutes are over.
Okay.
Abhijit,
Yes.
I would like to interview the 2 speakers now.
Yes.
Ajay
Please.
Hirashkar and Jaimal.
Please go ahead. I've moved the judges to the breakout room.
Thank you. I'm going to put them on spotlight. Give a minute. Great speech, Ajay. Today, when you mentioned the winner is just hijacking, just announcing your name as winner. How did you come with the title?
I normally try to put the contest chair on a spot by using such titles. They're fun. So the inspiration was from another Toastmaster said, his name, you're tall, dark and handsome, and the contest chair was a lady, right? And that was an amazing inspiration to start a speech with, right? So that was my inspiration.
Great job. So what did inspire your title, Jaimal? It was another interesting title. Cranky, hungry and stranded.
Yes, I was cranky, hungry, and stranded in Chicago. And one night I spent there thinking, why did I take that flight? Yes. Yeah.
I'm sure we all face at least one such situation in life, whether it is by air, by train, by bus. Great that you bought one speech on your real life.
Like Jaimal, I also forgot my bike.
Thank you, Abdul. So Ajay, you have participated in a lot of contests across and district, and then what do you think is the inspiration before participating in contests, and also what do you think others can get inspiration for you? So how do you prepare for a contest?
How do you prepare? I think that's a tough one, but I'll tell you what inspires me to be a part of a contest. Yeah, I think contests, I mentioned this at the table topic also. Contests are an amazing way to learn, because first of all, you put in more efforts yourself, you watch other speakers, and once you start going to area, division, district, or even if you watch the semi-finals or the finals, you learn so much about how you can be effective. So I think it's all about the journey, and when you participate, you try to incorporate some of those elements. I'm far away from being able to incorporate everything that I've seen or heard, but I'm making that attempt, and hopefully every time I participate, one more things get added to that small repertoire of things I do.
3 minutes is up. DTM Raghu.
Thank you, Radhika. We can wait till the judges come back. Chief Judge is back to the main row.
No problem.
Jaimal, what inspires you to participate in contests, any contest, and how do you prepare? Let's talk about preparation. How do you prepare for your speech or a speech contest?
That's a good question. Contest just expedites the growth. And the way I prepare is, this speech was prepared months earlier. And if you look at how the first speech was and now, things have changed a lot. And so the way I prepare for a contest is by, I have a speech that I want to give. It's all it's not formed correctly, but then I start revisiting, adding more things in, practicing, and giving it at different clubs. And then, I feel like it forms, a life gets formed with a lot of evaluation feedback. And it's a journey. And I really enjoy this journey, mainly because it just speeds up the growth. Yeah.
Thank you. Ajay, do you want to talk about something about your entrepreneurial journey and how Toastmaster has helped you in this journey?
Well, I think like any other entrepreneur, you have to be articulate. You have to be able to and you're able to enter it right back again. I find that a lot of entrepreneurs, I mean, including myself earlier, we might be very good in terms of our domain knowledge, but not necessarily very good in terms of articulating how we can possibly solve a customer's problem more elegantly. I think Toastmasters forces us to start thinking with time slots and time limits, so you are able to compress the material and content to make it more effective in that short time. So automatically, when you are front of customers, if you're talking to them, you're able to communicate so much better because of your Toastmaster journey. Your table topics help you to answer any question that you did not forecast before you entered the meeting. Your evaluations help you to be able to give feedback when a customer asks a question about how was this and how was that, whether rather than launching it on negative, you launch it the positive first. So I mean, it gives you so many things that we think are only relevant to a Toastmasters club meeting, but when you take it in the real world, it actually, and especially for an entrepreneur, I think it is immensely useful. So I think I have gained a lot because of my Toastmaster journey, and that's the reason why I motivate so many others to join Toastmasters also, because I know the benefit it has for them.
Thank you. Certainly. That's why you also started few clubs specializing on entrepreneurs across the world. Thank you for that help that you're doing in the fraternity. Jaimal, you've been leader at club level, area level, and also you're working on charting a new club. How is your journey been? And why do you think that we've been? Why do you think we need to take leadership roles at different levels? And how do you think this will benefit any person? How can we motivate a person to take a leadership role?
This is a good question. It's like getting out of my comfort zone. It's really scary, but then I take the step. My mentors are really helpful, and how it helps is by being a leader, I'm actually learning more about myself and increasing my capacity. And the only way that's possible is by taking on new challenges. And even chartering a new club, it was all about, I'm just going to give 3 months of my time and it's going to get chartered. People, so easy. That's what I thought. Convincing people to join a club is easy, just like how I write softwares, fix bugs and you get it. No, people, working with people is actually amazing. And at the same time, trying to help them understand how their goals, how I can help them with their goals, and being in sync with them. It's actually a journey that I'm going through, and I really love it, because if you take leadership at different levels, you start with the club. I started off with the club, then I went to the district, and now I am also chartering a new club. The growth is amazing because the amount of people that you get to work with is amazing. And the good thing is there are people out there who are cheering for you and wants your success. And this just encourages me to keep going. And I encourage each and every one of you to take part and be a leader, because you will learn to be compassionate and kind, and at the same time, get to know more about yourself. So become a leader today in any capacity possible. Yes.
Thank you, Jaimal. Before we conclude, Ajay, what are some words of wisdom for everyone, whether it is experienced Toastmaster or someone who just started their journey in Toastmasters?
Well, the only piece of advice that I really want to give is give as much as you can, because you don't realize it, but even if you're a new member, giving your time, giving your effort, right, is very important. When you grow as a leader, giving back to others in terms of helping them to learn or grow. When you might be leading a club, or you are an area director or a district director or division director, whatever else you choose to be, the more you give, the more it comes back to you. So my biggest advice to is give as much as you can, because the more you give, the more you will get.
Thank you, Ajay. Jaimal, some words of wisdom from you too.
The words of wisdom is believe in yourself, because once you believe in yourself, things will channel the right way. And being able to have composure and be grounded is a greatest gift. And I'm working on it, the gift of being still. And that is something that I'm working on. So if you have a chance to get to know yourself, please believe in yourself and work with your passion, and things will all come together. Back to you.
Thank you very much, both of you, for participating in ISC contest and also taking time to answer my ridiculous questions. Wish you all the best. With that, I conclude the interview and we'll move to the next section. Before that, let me remove the spotlight. So we start announcing the results. So which one should we go first? Evaluation or international speech? Anybody unmute themselves and answer. Namita, what do you think? Evaluation or ISC?
Evaluation.
Great. And the winner is Raghu Natha Raju. No problem. Third winner, the person who is at third place is Toastmaster Shardul. Congratulations, Shardul. Runner-up in today's contest, evaluation contest, is Toastmaster Jaimal. Congratulations, Jaimal. And the winner is DTM Ajay Hiraskar. Congratulations, Ajay. Congratulations. We have two fellow Toastmasters from Pune here, Ajay, Kanchan, and
the winner is, we all know it, DTM Ajay Hiraskar. Fan following, sir, to just hear your speech, we came all the way from Pune to Hyderabad, sir. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you, everyone.
And now we'll move to the international speech contest. And again, the winner is Raghunatha Raju. The second place goes to DTM Ajay Hiraskar. Congratulations, Ajay. And the first place go to Toastmaster Jaimal. Congratulations, Jaimal. Ajay will be representing our club in the area contest, and Jaimal will be representing our club in international speech contest at area level. I wish you both all the best. Learn, introspect, learn, and times unlearn if necessary, and then learn more. That's what we all do in Toastmasters, and even contests are a special event where we introspect our learnings. I wish everyone all the best and do well, and I give control back to, do we have Abhijit? Yeah, I will control back to Abhijit Abhi.
Thank you so much. Let me call upon Pragya. Pragya, how was your experience, Pragya? I think Pragya is still here. I think she's left. One thing I want to congratulate is our timer. Timer, you were doing a fascinating job behind the scenes. I'm always worried, is the timing science going well or not? And you were like to the point. So thank you, Frederica. I really appreciate that.
Thanks to Shadul.
Yes.
My
Thank you,
teacher.
Shardul. Thank you for putting everything together. I think you were the backbone of this contest. So thank you so much. I now call upon our Madam President. Frederica, it's all you.
Thanks again. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in this part of the world. Good afternoon. I really enjoyed myself and I show you there. Thanks to all the contestants. You made it possible to have a speech contest. Thanks to the judges, the counters. Well, yes, yours truly was the timer. And I have to say, you're all winners. You did a good job and you came up just in time to have a contest. So it wasn't like 2 weeks in advance or 3 weeks in advance, but it was like no for no, and we had a contest. So thanks again, thanks again, thanks again. Job well done. Who do we have? Anybody wants to say anything at this time? DTM Ragu, Jamal, anybody?